Hey everybody, we're about to start a podcast. Thanks to everybody who's hanging out in chat. We are live. People can see us now, so you all know. I'm trying to. I don't remember if we had any like streaming issues last week, but this is the second podcast on the new internet, so hopefully things look a little bit better, things sound a little bit better. To everyone out there, let's. You guys want to talk about video games? Scott, don't you always want to talk about video games constantly? Just hear me asking that question to nothing in your head alone. All right. Excuse me. It is Sunday, May 17th, 2020, and you are listening to the Irrational Passions podcast. I am Alex O'Neill, your host this evening, and joining me, as always, my wonderful companions in podcasts, Mr. Scott Guthier.
Hello.
No Tony Horvath currently, but maybe at some point, and Mr. Brian Nobishan Jackson.
Annihilate, charge, annihilate, fire.
Fire? Annihilate, charge? I don't know where this one was from.
It's It's what?
I don't know where this one is from.
Oh, Sonic Heroes. When you have Team Dark and you use Omega, and that's literally all he says over and over and over and over and over again.
I want you to know, as soon as you said Sonic Heroes, I remembered, and I was like, how did I forget? Oh my goodness. Hey everyone, welcome to Irrational Passions podcast. It's a video game podcast brought to you by Jolly Cooperation and Friendship. That's what I tell everyone, but, you know, the listeners can decide themselves. We're live every Saturday normally, 7 o'clock Eastern time, up on podcast services Tuesday morning for you to listen to. But this week we're recording on Sunday. Yesterday was my best friend's birthday, so I wanted to hang out with him. We had fun. We got couches for our new home. And thank you, everyone, especially on this podcast, for understanding and delaying the show. But we're here. It's a very chill, like, I don't know about you guys, but it's been like a extra lazy week for me. It's been chill. I've been trying to relax. I'm getting very relaxed vibes right now. I hope maybe Tony just relaxed so hard that he fell asleep. And honestly, I get it. I endorse this decision. But we got some video games to talk about. I want to open things up just as always with a little housekeeping. irrationalpatches.com. It's a website that this is on as well, and other stuff. Some of that other stuff includes Jared Green wrote a feature about the deck builder Sojourner Turns, I believe. Sojourner. It's I didn't read this one. George was the one that edited it, but apparently every time Jarrett finds a different deck building roguelike game, he always finds the good ones because every time one of us edits one of his deck building pieces, they're like, man, I'm really not into deck building, but I want to try this one now because of what you had to say about it. So a high recommendation from George Cruz, and hopefully I'll be able to read it this week. But also, if you missed it, Nabish and I did something this week. We sat down with our good friend Barrett Courtney, friend of the show, friend of everyone here, Scott included. Not friend of Tony, though, wherever he is. I would like to think of Barrett is like the friend of the internet. And we chatted about Persona 5 Royal. We had a nice 2-hour, 36-minute conversation about it, with about 35 minutes of non-spoiler conversation as well, which I wanted to make sure we had at least some of that in there for folks that just wanted to check it out. Really great reception to it. Everyone was super, super into it. I saw a lot of people also saying, like, oh, like, I'm on the last part of Persona 5 Royal right now, or I'm like, I just got the last dungeon this week. So I feel like we timed it pretty well for folks that were, like, right at the end, that were just, like, ravenous for folks to talk about it. How did you feel that conversation went, Nobishan?
Wasn't as good as I wanted it to go, I guess.
Yeah, it was fun. It was very cathartic. It was cool getting Barrett's perspective. It's fun that he has like different character favorites than us and stuff like that. But everyone thinks Mishima is the Sonic Heroes of people or whatever. It was a very good burn. What did you say? What
Days Gone.
Days Gone is the Mishima of video games. It's fine. It's doing a lot, you know. Maybe you should calm down. But yeah, so I mentioned the Streets of Rage 4 piece last week, but those are the two big from this week on IP. Irrational Passions Presents. If you missed it, you should go listen to that Persona 5 spoiler conversation. Like I said, if you have never played a Persona game before, you can listen to the first 30-ish minutes of it and maybe get an idea of why we like it so much, and maybe give it a shot. So that's it. That's the housekeeping. That's let's just talk about video games. We're here. We're playing games. I don't know what y'all are playing like on a week-to-week basis now because I'm getting into the weird shit. Obviously I know what Nobshin's playing. But Scott, what are you playing, man?
Let's see where to start. I can talk about Risk of Rain again.
Okay.
Because I played it more recently.
I feel like they
Two, right?
So
yeah.
Okay.
I feel like they updated it a bunch.
Risk of Rain 2. They did, but it wasn't recently.
Mm-hmm.
It was. This is just to talk about the latest update, and I didn't really get to it until a few weeks ago.
You said that you really wanted to play more of it for a couple weeks now. So what you got, man?
All right. First and foremost, I really like the new character they added.
Okay.
His name's Acrid, and he is a poison damage character that does percent health.
Okay.
And just so you're aware, the way the game scales is the only way you generally get extra base damage is if you level up. There's no real item in the game that offers you base damage an increase. There is only an item that allows all of your attacks to count twice, so it effectively increases your damage by 2, and then for your attacks to crit. But after you get 100% crit chance, there's no crit damage increase.
You just
so
do that.
So on and so forth.
Got it.
Right. So as the game infinitely scales, your damage is based off of the items you get rather than your own base damage.
Okay. So he's like...
With a percent health poison damage, you're doing roughly the same amount of damage proportionally the whole game.
Yeah, is it
your basic attacks?
Is it one of those things where it feels a little weaker early game but gets way better late game, or is it just an even plateau?
Well, that's the thing. It's more of an even thing. It's not crazy good early game because although he's a poison character, his main attack is melee. So you can't throw out tons and tons of poison all the time from the get-go. You have to get cooldown reduction to do that.
Okay.
And then the other thing is, so it doesn't start out crazy strong, but it's one of the most consistent characters in the game. Because there is kind of one base damage increaser for melee units.
Okay.
Focus Crystal increases your damage to units you're close to by about 15%.
Okay. I like the look of this dude also. I'm just looking at a picture of Acrid, and he's like a cool looking dinosaur.
Yeah.
Poison dinosaur.
Basically, although he kills things rather slow in comparison to when everybody else is, I would say, fully built.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fully built, but before they're outscaled. Because the game will always outscale you.
Yeah.
Except for when you're on Acrid.
That's cool though. That's a really cool system to like kind of counterbalance the difficulty.
Right.
Are you when you're playing? Are you playing with other people usually, or are you just playing by yourself?
Generally, I'm playing with other people.
Okay.
I did do I want to say a solo engineer run. To get the Plant Boy, which was a guy from a previous update, and I never got him.
Mm-hmm.
His name's Rex.
Okay.
Basically, it's as he does damage to other things, he heals himself. So you don't need nearly as much healing on him as you would other people as far as healing items goes. You just need 2 legendaries for healing. Like, of all your healing items, you need 2 legendaries. 1, which is a rejuvenation rack, which doubles all your healing, and 2 is an Aegis. All excess healing turns into a shield.
Whoa.
So
Yeah, that's cool.
while and it basically you get to double your health that way.
Now I'm curious. I'm gonna be jumping around a little bit. Sorry, Scott,
Mhm.
but did you play? I feel like you played at least a decent amount of Risk of Rain 1, right?
No.
Okay, I might be thinking of Jarrett because I know at least one
A
person that got
good
into
chunk
it.
of these guys have that I play with, and I'm pretty sure I got it for Tony at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I got
Yeah, I think they had like
friend.
a bundle. I'm pretty sure. Are
Mhm.
you're playing on PC,
So
right?
yeah.
Okay. I'm just like I've been
So
wanting to get into Risk of Rain for a little bit, but it'd be fun if we
the
could play
other
together.
thing about this update is
Okay.
that this is the update that they added something called artifacts.
Okay.
So items are things that increase your power in game. It's how you combat the enemy's permanent scaling.
Mm-hmm.
Artifacts augment the game from the get go.
Okay, like kind of change the seed.
So the easiest one to understand is, or one of the easiest ones to understand for in layman's terms, called artifact of command. Generally, items drop randomly. You buy them from don't drop randomly. You have to buy them from a chest,
Okay.
and whatever comes out of the chest is whatever comes out of the chest.
This changes that.
So this changes that.
Ooh.
Instead, any item that drops chests, whether it's you buy it from the shop, any item that hits the ground, you can turn into any item of that grade.
Oh.
So you
Okay.
get to pick your build.
Damn. That's really cool.
So it's basically turning the game on to easy mode,
Yeah.
regardless of what difficulty setting you're going for.
Yeah. And
So
but like I feel like lifesteal characters like the Rex that you were mentioning earlier and like stuff like that
mhm.
is are those kind of accessibility things that keep the element of randomness but at least let more people kind of get through it so that we can try it on harder stuff. I feel like
Right.
Binding of Isaac had stuff like that too.
So well, not really. Binding of
Some of the
Isaac,
characters
you
were
had
easier at least.
they were easier, but it's this isn't that.
Yeah.
With artifact with the artifact command is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
uh, you can pretty much outscale due to properly building, so long as you're moving relatively quick enough, the entire game.
Oh, that
So,
sounds useful.
right. And that's why I say it's you put the game on easy mode.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, there's also a ton of other artifacts. I forget exactly how many. I want to say 16. All of them can do various things. One of them makes it so on any single floor, only one type of mob spawns. Sounds nice, but however, let me level with you. While you can get the little crab guy who walks around and kind of doesn't do anything, so he pretty much can't kill you.
Mm-hmm.
You can also get something I think they're called. We call them the Lizardmen. I don't remember their names at this point. And these are one of the hardest regular mobs in the game.
Oh, jeez.
They hit way too hard. You cannot get near them, and they also do fire damage, so they burn.
So it's a risk
So
reward, would you say?
it just there's no reward.
It's just a risk. Would you say it's a risk of rain?
It's just a different way to play the game,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
There's another one which doubles the enemies that spawn but halves their health. There's another one which forces all of the enemies that spawn to be elites.
Okay. That's cool though, because I
There's
imagine
another
they'll
one,
drop like more experience or looter, right?
right?
Okay.
There's one that doubles your damage but halves your health right from the start.
Ooh, I like that one a lot.
So it's a bunch of stuff like that.
Cool.
So
and they just added these like with the most
they
recent
just
update.
you have to unlock them.
Okay.
So with this, there's also a fifth stage in the cycle. Before this update, it was you got through your stages 1 through 4, and then it would loop.
Okay.
And they added different maps between those 4 stages, but it was always 4 stages.
Now there's a fifth?
Now there's a fifth. And it is always, and it is this way because this fifth stage is what gets you is how you unlock your commands.
Okay.
Because in order to unlock all of these artifacts, you have to go through trials.
Oh,
And
like
in this last stage, there's a 3x3 grid with symbols in the middle, and you have to select the right combination of symbols to then take the correct trial for most of these artifacts. There's a couple of ways you can unlock. I want to say there's 2 other maps that you can unlock artifacts in.
That's really
other
cool.
than this one. One of them you get through the shop. It's hidden in the shop world. You have to jump down and find it.
This is like some Spelunky shit. You're really speaking my language here, Scott. I like this stuff a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, it's nice.
That's cool.
As well as it is also taking these trials even after you've unlocked them can also help your run, just in case you're struggling a bit, because during these trials the clock stops.
Oh, okay. So that way you can
So
kind of
you can go through these trials, get some extra items while the clock is frozen, and then keep moving.
Yeah, because it gets harder as more time passes, right?
The more time passes, the more teleporters you hit, it jumps,
Mm-hmm.
so on and so forth.
Cool. That's a really substantial update too. I know it's an early access, but still, like that's cool to hear.
I think it's a 1.0 now.
It still says early access on Steam, so I'm gonna assume not yet, but it's probably close.
Yeah, okay, not yet then.
But yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's out on stuff, so it's like out on PS4 and Switch and all that. So I imagine like to some extent it is in 1.0. But yeah, that's a really cool. So like Mike Burgess is really into Risk of Rain too. That's like his Spelunky. He tells me a lot. So I was just looking to see if there was any way. Like, is this on Max? Sometimes indie games are on Max. Well, it's not, so we can't play together, Scott. But maybe someday. But he's on PC, so if you ever need another for your group, send me a hit up. So that's cool. Anything else they added? Any other Risk of Rain anythings?
Other than a couple of new items, of the artifacts we covered, they haven't done too much with the prismatic trials. It's just during a random string of events, you take whatever sort of loadout you can. I think it might have preset artifacts at this point. Not 100% sure, but it's the prismatic trials is here's an objective, load in the map and go do it.
Hell yeah, man! And take some time off the clock. Anything else you've been playing?
Yeah, so Journey's End Terraria update came out yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And we're already
Terraria.
Yeah.
Not even Starfield.
Nope.
Damn. I didn't know they still updated that game.
Right?
Yeah, that's.
But no, this is an update they were talking about for a while.
That's impressive.
The game is now a third bigger.
Oh wow. how long has this been cooking?
A couple of years at this point.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Gotta be.
Yeah, I see. Just because usually when I was like, all right, let's look up this Terraria update. I just searched Terraria on Google, and this is 9 years after launch. Terraria is finally complete. Is the Eurogamer article? That's funny. Yeah, 1.4.02. That's cool. So what did they add?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Not yet. It's like all end game stuff.
No, I have a general idea.
Okay.
But
it's fucking wild, dude.
For the most part, they added a new difficulty setting.
Okay.
Past hard mode, they call it master mode, or maybe it's expert mode.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked at it, to be honest. So in this particular mode, good luck. just for one.
Good luck, have Batman.
So Spelunky,
Yes.
right off the bat, everything does 3 hearts of damage.
Jesus.
Good luck on your run.
No, thank you. Please take me out of here.
And it doesn't. They don't stay at that damage. It's as you go forward that damage gets increased proportionally to where you are.
Of course, but they do 3 times as much damage. That's not fun.
Basically. There's that. They have. It's bonus to all stats, so it's armor, health, damage they do. The bonus side to this is that you generally get things quicker.
Okay.
So your chests have better stuff in them. Your mob drop chance for some items, not all of them, has increased. So instead of playing a game where it's fairly easy as you start to get into the swing of things and you're starting to set up massive farmers where you put up summoned minions to do all the farming for you, and then coming back in an hour to realize
they're all
it didn't drop yet. The item I want didn't drop yet.
Yeah.
There should be quite a bit less of that.
That's good to hear. And
for the trade-off of because you have to take that much longer to kill everything.
Makes sense. It's cool. I'm seeing like apparently like Terraria went from like nothing to 54,000 concurrent players too when they dropped this patch too.
Yeah, and I think there was a 500,000 peak yesterday.
Wow. It's cool. It's just like it's crazy to think that that game came out in its first state 9 years ago, you know? That's one of those first, like, that was like the first thing after Minecraft that I remember was like, oh no, we're doing this too. Like, we're going to do early access, going to update as it goes. And you guys really dug it.
Yeah, other than that, the game is just a bit too big to say, hey, what's new?
Yeah, that's true.
Because at this point, I don't know anymore.
Sure. Do you think it's like just new enemies, new armor, new items, new crafting stuff, like toward the end?
There's going to be all of that at some point.
Yeah. They did a similar thing with Stardew Valley as well.
So I do know, or at least I'm pretty sure that there's a. Actually, I'm not sure if this was here before. I think it wasn't, but during the Bloodman, you have bloodied enemies, and they can drop an extra item called a treasure trove. Treasure trove.
A Trevor Trove.
Truff.
Yeah, got it.
Sorry, money truff.
Money
there
truff.
We go. And all this does is it summons a portable piggy bank.
Okay.
There you go. There's something that's new.
It might be new. We're not.
I think
we're unsure. There's a lot of it. It's an old game. It's been around for a while. Who knows? That's cool though. I'm excited to hear if you guys play more, like what they actually might have done to mess with that game. I saw they also added a journey mode. Which,
have you ever dabbled into the game?
I played Terraria once with you and Tony. Ever. It's the only time I ever played it.
Right.
Do you think I would have fun with it though? Like legitimately?
I think so.
Okay.
Because here's the thing: Risk of Rain is the Spirit of Sex would be has a connection to Spelunky in that it is a roguelike and it has some Spelunky elements in its meta.
Yeah.
This is a 2D Spelunker.
Yeah.
Where the point of the game isn't to get stuff to craft more stuff like Minecraft is. No, there is a item, weapon, and boss progression system.
Okay.
The point of the game is to beat all the bosses the game has.
Yeah, you're right. That definitely appeals to me more.
Right. So, and it's it would feel more at home to you having played a lot of Spelunky.
Okay. I'll take that. I'll take that to heart. And the thing is, I would feel more comfortable on a controller. I haven't played it since they like actually put in controller support. When I played with you and Tony, it was on mouse and keyboard on computer. Again, like probably 8 years ago, honestly. It was probably on this podcast like 8 years ago.
If you do, I'm assuming you do all of your spelunking on a controller. So I would say yes and no.
Sure. I've seen the
So
UI. It's not amazing, but it's,
trying to rummage through your inventory without a mouse and keyboard would be terrible.
Yeah.
So at the very least, having a mouse nearby would be nice.
Okay. That's good to know. Because I have it on PC, so that's probably where I play it. So it's probably like on Game Pass or something. It's probably like free on all services to some extent everywhere. Cool. Anything else you played this week, Scott?
These are the two big ones.
Okay. Well, while we're talking about your games, because we only got the one news story, we might as well talk about it now, Scott, because you're the only person that I need to get your opinion on it. You hear they announced this new Paper Mario game? Did you know that?
They announced this new... No, I didn't.
They announced a new Paper Mario game on Thursday. Yeah, Nintendo, how they announce things, they literally put a trailer on Twitter Thursday morning, and they were like, hey, this Paper Mario game comes out in exactly 2 months. It comes out July 17th. Mark your calendar, Scott. And we don't... Here's the thing, and Scott, you as a fellow member of the Mario RPG fan community, we don't know yet, all right? This could be one of the bad ones. Like, full disclosure.
Yeah,
They've had so much feedback after Sticker Star, Color Splash, and then the fucking Mario and Luigi paper mashup. That maybe
this one's actually being made by Intelligent Systems.
Yeah, it's also Intelligent Systems directly, which they're the ones that made Thousand Year Door, Super Paper Mario. Kind of like the better one. I forget the team that made. They're saying the right stuff. I know, dude. I'm right there. I'm right there with you. It's and it's coming out soon, so at the very least we'll know soon. There's a trailer out there. You should go watch it, Scott, when you get the chance. Looks great. Obviously, Color Splash also looked really great, but it doesn't look like it's got the weird segmented world map, but it looks like it has like some level of open world travel. And it looks like companions might be back. So I don't know. But it's got this. The thing is, they showed a little bit of the combat system, and it looks like it has the audience system from Thousand Year Door to some extent. I don't know. This is just this one trailer we have to go off of. So that might be good, but it's not just traditional Paper Mario combat. It is like this. It looks like you're on like this big wheel, like a Lazy Susan. I don't know like how else to describe. It looks like Mario's in the center of like a spinning wheel, and you have to rotate enemies in this wheel to line them up to do like combo damage to all of them in a row. But I don't know if that's like that happens sometimes, or if that happens all the time, or if that's just in this one location. That's the only little bit of combat that they showed. So it's Paper Mario and the Origami King, I think is what it's called. So this is very new. Everyone is still like sweating here. The thing I want to talk about also is it was rumored that earlier this year that there was going to be a new Paper Mario game and a new 2D Metroid game, and that they were going to kind of come out just sometime this year. And that's really all we knew. But now with one confirmed, and it's again coming out July 17th, very soon. There at the end of this trailer, they showed Paper Mario holding like this big paper mache, or with this big paper mache Samus helmet on, like pretending to pew pew, as like a fun visual gag. But like it's just sitting there like, is Nintendo just fucking with me, or is this one of those times where I could be excited about something? But I don't know. There could be another a Metroid game as well this year. But yeah, I got to put that on your radar, Scott. There might be hope left in the world. At the very least, there's rumors that if, regardless of how this does, that a 1,000 Year Door might come to Switch in some capacity. And knowing Nintendo, they would probably add a couple of things to that version of that game. So who knows?
What makes you say that, though?
Just because they very rarely port things without adding things to it.
No, I mean specifically that.
There are a couple of things that I could see added to 1,000 Year Door, just quality of life changes that they would make in a remaster, that aren't huge, like maybe a little bit better of a quest log, some new, like maybe change some of the dialogue that's a little dated, and just like the general like, hey, we're gonna make this, and also 1,000 Year Door's not in HD, maybe redoing some of the visuals for it. But the thing I would honestly be equally as interested in is if they took the original Paper Mario and redid it in the art style of like this new Paper Mario or 1,000 Year Door, and they added the kind of quality of life mechanics to the OG Paper Mario that, not change it, not mess it up or anything, but just kind of modernize it in a way that people can pick it up and play, and just make it look great, because that game still looks good for an N64 game because it's all pixel art, but there's just like that compression on that game, it just ruins it. So but yeah, how you feeling now, Scott, now that you've got maybe hope left in the world?
I'm feeling a little bit better.
Okay, good. That is what I love to hear.
I still don't see why they would pick that game. Speaking as a realist, type of person, not really as a fan or something like that.
No, please.
But like, why would they pick that game in general? I don't really see.
1,000 Year Door.
Yeah, just to even redo it, because like they barely even do GameCube games to begin with.
Yeah, it's a thing of like, if they end up really doing this this Sunshine Mario 64 thing, then I think the potential for it is higher, because they don't really do that, like you said. And they haven't done that with really any GameCube games still. So I don't know. I it's hopeful. The thing is, like, in a similar way to like Tokyo Mirage Sessions and stuff, like there is like a very, in Mother 3, which they haven't done in your defense, but there is like certainly a vocal fan base that is like, hey, this one specifically, we want 1,000 Year Door specifically, and I think people at Nintendo are aware of that.
I don't think they are, and I think the difference between that
Not
is
people that
like,
matter,
Wii U,
but people.
No, I think it's Wii U. Wii U is a different thing than like honestly, I would see Color Splash happening before even 1,000 Year Door.
Yeah, I mean, I could too, but I don't think there's no hope. I think there is. But
I did not say no. I was just trying to be like your devil's advocate more.
Yeah, I don't know what Nintendo's policy with their GameCube stuff is, because they haven't touched it. Like the only one I guess is, well, I guess Twilight Princess as well, but Wind Waker, we got that very nice remaster too. But that's another instance of people very vocal about how much they want a fresh Wind Waker. But yeah, that was obviously Wii U was much closer to GameCube, and now that we're farther away, maybe those games will be forgotten. I hope not. GameCube's got such a weird library.
I mean, in your defense as well, it's like the Metroid thing. It's like that seems like a thing that's going to happen eventually.
Yes.
It's just a matter when they're just going to put it out.
Yeah.
So Metroid is like the most niche thing they have almost, and they still kind of support that as well. So it could happen.
My hope is that regardless, we'll see if regardless of quality, but hopefully this new Paper Mario game is dope, and then it does really well, because to some extent I think everything on Switch is just going to do a lot better than a lot of their old stuff. It has to be good, I think, to really do well, but we can hope. It does really well, and then they kind of maybe pay more attention to that franchise in a way that's more substantial, right? Like, because like Mario and Luigi had plenty of games that did well, but like I feel like they did not invest themselves in that franchise to know what people really cared about with it. Or at the very least, they kind of got away from that, right? With the last two entries, like the Paper Mario Paper Jam crossover was like not well received, and I didn't even want to play it because of some of the stuff I heard about. Like it was just too much, like just too many systems, too many different weird things that they always tend to do with the Mario and Luigi games. And then the Dreamy Luigi one, which I liked that I played. But like it was just it felt very much the same again, So who knows? You could play Paper Mario 1 and 2 and be like, oh, this is just the same game, but 1 is way better. It's just like a better version of that game. So there's potential that is still a concern to be had, but I don't know. Tony Horvath, welcome to the party. How are you feeling, man?
I'm alive, so
Good.
That's good.
Good, man. I'm just checking.
Yeah, man.
We just finished talking about Scott's games. I just let Scott know this new Paper Mario game.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this new Paper Mario game?
Yeah. It looks like it's gonna be fucking lit.
Yeah, hopefully.
Do you still have a Switch?
Do you still right? Do you still technically have your Switch?
Nope.
Oh, you got rid of it in the last
Yeah,
week?
so yeah, I sold it to a good friend of mine because he couldn't find one and he wanted his kid to be able to play Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
So I sold him to mine really, really cheap. So
good. That's very kind of you. Tony, do you want to talk about video games? I know you just got
talk
here.
about some video games.
What you got, man?
So I've been playing this sweet game called League of Legends.
There was a moment where I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be something new."
Oh, don't worry, there is new stuff, and I will get to it.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but we're playing League of Legends. I have also been playing some Seven Deadly Sins Grand Cross.
Of course.
Yeah, I played a whole lot of PvP this week. Like 300 matches of PvP, which has been interesting. Basically, all the time I've been playing PvP between everything that I've been doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. I've got a 95% win rate over 300 matches.
Wow.
I'm just kind of farming up materials at this point. So
Where you're at? Where is your total rankings? I'm invested in this story. Or have you fallen out of the top 10 players or whatever, or top 100 players?
well, the rankings for people, there's like different ways for your ranking. I'm in like the top 110 for total account score.
Yeah.
At least the last time I checked, I was just barely not in the top 100.
Mm-hmm.
And then for PvP, since today's the last day of the ranked week, people who like just all only play PvP, they've been wailing hard today and just doing 24/7 PvP. So I don't think I'm in the top 100 anymore because I'm not trying to, I gotta sleep.
You got a life to live, man. I get it.
I had to work.
He's not trying to pay to play more matches.
Yeah. Well, I did do that a little bit.
Okay. They got you.
Yeah, there's like a pack you can buy for $8 that's like 40 matches worth of tickets. So I was like, yeah, all right.
Right.
That's a lot of time playing the game for $8.
Sure.
So.
Plus, I don't think you spent that much money on this game yet. So.
No, for the status of my account, having spent less than $200 is pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Because everyone else around me who's got similar stats and all that stuff are like more than $1,000.
Yikes.
Or more,
Sure.
I know some people that are like tens of thousands deep, and I can't imagine a world where that's an okay thing for me.
Yeah, probably not. Maxed out credit cards. It's just like, all right.
I mean, I know what those people are like now because I've met and talked to a few.
Okay.
And for them, tens of thousands of dollars doesn't change anything, Like there's this one dude, who is the #1 account. He doesn't even really play the game. He played for the first 2 weeks, but he wanted his account to be #1 in everything. So he set up the account, spent $35,000 in the first 2 weeks to max out everything you could possibly buy from the store, which is a lot of stuff that you could buy materials for and then max
$3,500 or $35,000?
$35,000.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just.
Yeah, that was in the first 2 weeks.
I threw up a little.
Right, and then that 2 weeks into the game was enough for him to identify really like smart players who'd be able to push it and someone who could be trustworthy. So he then gave his account to someone who'd be able to push it and keep it the highest. And all that person does now is just whenever the person who's running his account needs something, he will just come in and buy all the shit and then go away again. And when new characters come out, he will log in, pull on the machine, the little dragon stomach thing that you've pulled on before, that kind of system, until he has pulled the new unit 6 times, and then he will leave.
All right, let's slow down. How do you know this, man? How do you know that? I need to know everything about this. Did you reach out to this guy?
Well, so I am the guild leader for the #3 guild in the server.
Did you get promoted to leader?
I bet I'm co-leads with one other guy.
Okay.
and have been for a while.
You're allowed to brag on this podcast, Tony. I'm gonna let you know because you're always like, I'm on this guild.
Basically,
dope.
I'm the fucking best.
All right.
Yeah,
giving you permission.
yeah. But so like originally there were 3 guilds in this system of guilds. I joined and was in the 3rd guild because when the game came out, I wasn't super high combat class, which is how we kind of sort players. In the almost 3 months since then, I moved up. Well, really 2 weeks in, I moved up to the 2nd guild, and then like a month later, I became co-leader of the 2nd guild. And now we are 6 guilds strong, and all 6 of them are in the top 10 guilds. So our number one, our high end whale guild is number 1. I lead the 2nd guild, which is number 3. The guy who I'm talking about is the highest CC member of guild number 2.
Wow. Okay.
So since we are more than half of the top 10, we know people from the other 4. So those people in those other guilds, I've just talked to them.
That's so cool.
That's how I know. It's crazy.
Like I take a step back from me, like as a guy who doesn't leave his house ever, regardless of quarantine status. Like, just I love that you got invested in this thing. This like thing that you just heard was good to the point now where you're like essentially a part of an oligarchy of the best players of that game.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And you've like now know other members of that community. Again, it's just like the same thing with like fucking Gary Whitta starting Animal Crossing TV show on Twitch, and like now he's having like Elijah Wood and Danny Trejo on, of like these people, like these real people invest themselves so heavily in these video games, especially during times like these.
Yeah, for real. Like especially during these unprecedented times.
It's awesome.
It's crazy that there are people willing to go out there and spend this much money on a video game. And the funny thing is, since I'm in a leadership role for this 2nd guild, all of the moving members around, taking out old members, and if people are quitting, all that comes through me. You know what I mean? And the weird thing is, like, I was talking to someone earlier this week because they were looking to move down out of our guild because they were trying to be less active in the game. They're kind of done playing, so they figured they'll move down to like the 5th or 6th guild, so they don't have to work as hard. And those people will PM me and be like, hey, I want to do this. This is the reason why. I will see you in the top guild for the next game.
Aw.
There's like there's all these people, and it's and apparently since I haven't done this before in a mobile game, like really pushed hard.
Sure.
There hasn't really been a mobile game that's lent itself for that to be possible for someone without spending, a ton of money. And also I don't really play mobile games that have guilds.
Yeah.
So, but apparently a lot of these people just go from game to game to game as they come out, and they just want to be at the top.
Just like your like MMO squad when you back in the day of like going from MMO to MMO.
It's so a lot of these people kind of like know each other a little bit. Like they all played like Epic 7 and stuff like that. These other games, and so then there's like an expectation that like we're gonna be at the best at this game until it's no longer the game, and then when the next game comes out, we're gonna go be the best at that. So. I thought it was weird.
So fascinating to me. Like as someone who like doesn't care at all, right? Like outside of it, it's awesome.
So you got to think about that. That person that spent $35,000.
Not the first time.
He does that on multiple games.
Yeah. And he will.
Yeah, that dude.
Multiple games a year.
That's crazy.
I don't know if I circle back around to it. That dude lives somewhere in India, and he's got so many millions of dollars that $35,000 doesn't mean anything to him.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about the money, just as long as he gets to be number 1 on the leaderboard.
Weird art imitates life situation going on right now, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway,
this is this is a very good podcast for me. I had a very good conversation with Scott about Terraria earlier, and now we're talking about fucking Grand Cross leaderboards. All right.
Yeah.
I love this show.
It's cool because that kind of guild, like being in that level of guild status, it draws all types. Like I'm really good friends with an ex League of Legends professional player now, and so we play League together.
That's right. Through Grand
And-
Cross that you got to know him?
Yeah, he's in my guild.
That's awesome.
He just joined the guild, and I was like, wait a fucking
Wait,
minute.
I fucking know you. Yeah.
Yeah, and he is originally like, I don't play League anymore. I don't have it installed or whatever. But we've gotten to be really good
You were,
friends.
been
And I
there,
was like,
done that.
hey, listen, bro, you want to play some League? So yeah, now we play League like every day,
That's awesome.
which is fucking weird for me.
Yeah, I bet.
Because I used to watch this dude play LCS games every.
That's so cool.
Is he your Greg Miller?
Is he your League of Legends Greg
I mean,
Miller?
he's just a dude my age, Yeah.
He's your Brent Range.
So-
I get it.
Yeah. So, and this kind of segues into my next game, because he and I, like I said, gotten to be pretty good friends. We talk every day, play League of Legends every day. And he was telling me about this roguelike game that he had just picked up. That he was having a really good time with, and was like, "Hey, listen, I need you to get this game because it's really good, and I want you to play it." And I was like, "Okay, soon." Because I gotta play this I got to play 7 Deadly Sins. Or already playing League, and I really want to play Persona more.
Mhm.
So then he was like, "What's your Steam?" And then he gifted me the game.
Aw.
I was like, "Okay, fine." So I got to play it. So he's like, "Stream it on Discord right now." I was like, "Okay." So he bought me this game.
It's just a bully that Tony has befriended.
Yeah, pretty much. He bought me this game called Hades.
Oh
which
yeah, Hades.
Is an early access roguelike game. I thought it was a newer thing that had just come out, but apparently it's been out for a while.
This was when they launched the Epic Game Store. This was one of their exclusives that they had.
Yeah.
I
This
didn't know it
is,
was on Steam.
it's on Steam now.
It is on Steam, yeah.
I had a 1-year early access exclusivity for Epic Game Store, but that would have been up in January. So yeah, it's that's Supergiant.
But it's still early access, right?
It is early access, yeah, and it is Supergiant Games, yeah.
Yeah.
That game's pretty cool,
everyone
Alex, by the way.
seems to recommend this game, put it on my radar. So yeah, I really want to play Hades. I think it's just PC right now is the thing. I just have no way to play
it
this.
is.
I believe it is just PC, but it has full controller support, and it is recommended that you play with. So I've been playing with an Xbox One controller, and yeah, I'm like 13 hours deep. I've beaten the game a couple times.
Wait, Xbox One controller? You have a Steam controller, bro.
Yeah, why would the hell would I use that? That thing, I bought that thing because it was $5 just to say I have one, and in the weird case that it's necessary, I got it.
I almost don't
But-
want to send it to Nabashin if he's gonna say shit like that.
Yeah, right. I know.
He's
Listen,
gonna
Nabashin, it's because you haven't had one in your hand before. This controller is bad.
he's gonna DM me and be like, "So excited to use my new controller and playing,
And you'd
playing
be like,
Sonic
"Yes,
Heroes
now."
with a fucking Steam controller." I hate you. Oh, why would I give this to you?
Yeah, why would we empower you to hate
I do have to
yourself
send
that
it to you, and
much?
I'm sorry. No,
You're fine.
But yeah, early Hades is pretty fucking cool.
yeah.
They've added a lot of stuff apparently. There's 6 different weapons that you can take in, and it kind of plays like the name of the game that I was going to compare it to has escaped me.
Transistor.
I mean, it looks like Transistor,
Mm-hmm.
made by the same people, obviously.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, it's you go in there, you fight things, and you're it's kind of like Binding of Isaac in that you're picking up a bunch of different buffs that can intermingle and buff each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of craft a run based on that. There are some things that are kind of more generic things. Then there are power-ups you get through hammers of Daedalus that kind of drastically change how the weapon you're using works. You can get up to 3 of those in a run.
Well,
2 of them you can get 2 of them just naturally, and you can buy a 3rd one. So you kind of put together all these things, and you're being granted boons by the gods of Olympus. You can romance people. Apparently, I haven't got there yet.
ooh, I didn't know that.
Yep, there's romance in that game. There's like an affinity system with all of these gods. So as you're taking their specific buffs more and more, they will like you more. And there's all this rogue light stuff in the overworld where when you die, you keep your specific materials. You can use that to empower yourself for future runs, get yourself more percentage bonuses to your damage, to your health, all that kind of stuff. And then you get these little gems that you can use to upgrade up like to unlock some things that in the levels, so you can unlock like wells that'll be there occasionally that can give you HP. Or what I do, you can buy cosmetics for your house, basically for hell. And you've got a Cerberus, 3-headed dog. He's super cute, so I'm saving up to buy him a doggy bed. There's a lot of cool stuff that you can get. I bought an Aphrodite wall scroll.
The goddess of love.
Yeah. She's not wearing many clothes. She's got a lot of hair cover and stuff. And so, and I was looking at the customization options, and it was like bedroom, wall scroll, Aphrodite. I was like, all right, I'll get that. And you buy it, and the main character, and he's got all this dialogue with everybody in the game, and they kind of really humanize all the characters and make you like talking to them and all that. And the main character, he's sassy as fuck, and when you buy that, he's like, it's my room, I'll put whatever wall scrolls up that I want.
My dude. I'm gonna just clip out the part where Tony says, I got an Aphrodite wall scroll, and Nabshin just says, the goddess of love.
Wait a minute, that one?
Just gonna clip that out just for me. No, I've heard like so many good things about Hades, and obviously I like Supergiant a lot. It's one of those things where I'm sure when it's like out of early access, it'll probably be on everything, and I'll play it then. But I've been very tempted to play it. It's good to hear you like it as well. And it has wall scrolls. I mean, what do we do?
Apparently there's one other wall scroll, but I don't know what it is. There you go. That's Aphrodite. I just put in the chat.
I'll pull this up on my phone. Anything else you've been playing, Tony?
Yeah, so I've been playing that. Been playing a lot of Persona.
Hell yes, dude.
Yeah.
You got an update? Persona update?
Yeah, I've almost maxed out all of my social stats.
Yes.
So I'm excited to not have to do much more of that as I go forward.
When we're reading books.
Yeah, I've turned down several whammons.
Womans.
yeah. Well, for timeline's sake,
where are you at?
I've just gotten to the deadline after clearing Futaba's palace.
Okay.
So she has just done her hacker mojo to deal with Medjed.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you're about to do the summer vacation thing, yeah.
Right, yeah. And so far, I think I've maxed out Kawakami. I've got a bunch of confidants at like 7.5, where you get their missions.
Yeah, you'll do everything in one playthrough. Fine.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. I've turned down Kawakami. I've turned down Makoto. I've turned down
Is it turning down? There's only one character you actually turned down in that game.
I mean,
I'm being dumb. Don't worry about it.
It's enough of a turn down. Was it hard to turn away Makoto?
No.
Damn. Fucking cold-hearted, dude. Can't even... I don't remember if you romanced Makoto in the first playthrough. I think you did.
I did, yeah. I romanced Hifumi, and then I dumped her for Makoto.
Got it, that's right.
Yeah. Hifumi, I have like the confidant mission for. I have to go into Mementos.
You're just thinking about it?
Well, I'm waiting till I have most of them before I go in next. I've been into Mementos twice. First time I went in, I had 3 things to do. It was pretty early. Second time I went in, I had like 10 things to do.
Yeah, this is what I do too. I only go to Mementos a couple of times because I'm so optimizing my time all the time.
Yeah, and then next time I go in, I think I'll have like another 12, 13 things to do.
For sure.
Yeah.
All those stickers.
I don't know, like I don't mind doing all that stuff. The one thing that I have noticed that I just don't care about, even though I'm playing on the hard difficulty, Merciless, I just haven't felt like I needed it, and it always just feels like a waste of time for me. After the first time I played through these games, no, I mean, well, yes, but
yeah, don't worry. We all feel that way about Mishima. Don't worry.
No, it's fusing confidants or fusing Persona,
really,
and like free fusion alarms and shit. I just don't care. Like they'll be like a fusion alarm's going on. I feel a little awkward. I'll be like, cool, I'm gonna keep feeling that because I don't care.
Yeah, I'll say like we didn't bring it up in our spoiler conversation, but like the fusion alarms, I ended up really liking the second time around when I played through the second time. But like I really mostly ignored them first time around. It is nice. Like I still like fusing Persona. It's just like bullshit fusing though. I like getting stronger stuff and all that.
I don't know. It just kind of felt to me like I already don't. This is just a means to an end.
Yeah,
you know.
I already did this.
And I can only keep a couple of them anyway because I keep having to delete Persona and then summon old ones in order to have the correct confidant. Arcana.
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't have enough slots for me to want to care about more than like 2 Persona.
Yeah.
So I just keep 2 really powerful Persona that I've made, and just that's it, you know.
Sure.
So other than that, it's just I've been doing the strength confidant stuff. And yeah. But let's see what else. I finished all of the 5 ranks for Kasumi's Persona.
Nice.
The replacement for the maxed Persona, like you formed a blood oath thing was that one felt a little weird to me, you know, because it was just very different. I can't even remember what the words were anymore, but you know, I was like, okay, well, I guess they're trying to make it obvious that there's more.
I believe
to
it's
this
I am
person.
thou, thou art I.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if that even.
Navashin's on some sassy shit tonight.
Navashin has been waiting to roast me all week.
It's because you haven't finished it yet. We would just want you to finish so we can talk about it with you.
Listen, dude, I was in. Okay,
you're fine. No, you're fine. I'm just.
Navashin knows about this already, right? But I was in Futaba's palace for a long time after I'd finished the palace because I was looking for this goddamn second will seed.
Oh, it took me a while to find that one too.
Yeah, so I finished the palace, right? And I was like, okay, I have 1 and 3. Where's the second one?
This is what you called me about, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is what I called you about. So I spent 2 hours and multiple, Google searches, because I Google searched like, where's the second will seed for this palace, and they'd be like, oh, this is the easiest will seed to find in the whole game. It's literally right in front of you. And so I found out where it was supposed to be, and I went back, and this door was locked that I was supposed to go in, and I already finished the palace, so obviously didn't need to go in that room. And it's like the second door where there's like those Death Star coffins that you need to solve the puzzles on.
Yeah.
So to actually clear it, you only need to do the first puzzle.
Yeah.
And so after I did that, I was like, the palace is over. I don't know if that's even active anymore, if I can go and do this thing, because I couldn't find like any second tablet or anything like that to get this door open. The only thing in there is a chest and the will seed. So I spent literally, I kid you not, like 2 hours trying to figure out how the hell to get into this room. And I was like, okay, I got to call somebody. I got to phone a friend because someone knows how to get to this goddamn will seed. And it sure as hell is not GameInformer.com or thegamer.com. You know what I mean?
You just go the other way on the boulders, man.
I called in support. Alex was not available. Navashin, my rock, was available. He picked up and immediately was like, the fuck are you doing right now? Why are you calling me? I was like, listen, I need you. But yeah, we figured it out. Apparently it was hidden. This tablet was hidden above the fucking rocks so that you never have to go up there.
Yep.
So I found that, and then I was able to get in. But Navashin, he was assaulting me. He was like, "What? Did you use the third eye?" And I was like, "What do you mean? How am I gonna see it? What am I looking at? What am I looking for?"
Navashin's just gotta come in and big brother us sometimes and just let us know, like, no, you're just being dumb. Let me do it.
I was like, listen, dude, I spent 80% of the palace holding both triggers. So.
I saw everything, I swear.
I already saw, dude. I hit so many of those fucking things to get the treasure out.
Incredible.
Yeah. So, but that's where I'm at. Basically, I cleared that, and then I spent the entire month that I'm in now just doing, 2 personas a day, or two confidants a day.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It feels good getting those numbers up, man.
Yeah. So I'm at like 5 out of 5 on 3 out of 5 social stats. I think I just have proficiency and kindness left, I think, to do. All the other ones are maxed, which the last time I played this game, I was nowhere close to that.
Yep.
On my things. I've been reading a lot of books. I don't know if this is a new addition to Royal, but I didn't see it my first time through the game. The speed reading book. I got that shit.
It's new to Royal, yeah.
That's what I figured. That book's pretty good.
It's clutch.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of books.
It is. It was in Persona 4 Golden, though. It was not in the original Persona 4, and they added it to Golden. It was not in original Persona 5. They added it to.
Right. Okay. I thought I got it near the end, but okay.
And that one you can actually rent in May from the library. which I was
Yeah.
like, I thought it would only be available when you go back to school in September, but no, you can get it like right before you go into summer break.
Yep. That's what I did.
Clutch.
Yeah. I've been reading hella books.
Get those stats up. That's
I've been trading.
being able to do like literally anything at night means you can get your stats up so much faster is the thing.
For sure. And you have to spend less time doing pointless time spent with your confidants because you get that extra little boost at the end of each one.
Yes.
If you text well.
Yeah, you talk on the phone well. Hey, how are you doing? Oh, are you feeling okay? Nailed it.
Nailed it. +2.
But there are a lot of confidants like EY and Hifumi both early on. I think 3 and like 1, 2, and 3 for EY. Like there's like only 1 point in their conversations in their actual hangout sessions where you can get stats up. So having one where you can always at least get a couple extra points at the end of the hangout session is super helpful.
For sure.
God,
and
this
then there's
game is
people
so
like
good.
And there's people like Kasumi where they've got like 45 like things you can respond to in each one, and you can get 3 in every single one.
Mm-hmm.
So I go through them like, God damn, imagine that I got 0 on all of these. How many times would I have to mindlessly spend time together before I would get to the next rank?
It's only like there's only one that has a big gulf in it, I think, for hangout sessions. So
but that's been good. I've been trying to get more time in Persona, but every time I'm like about to play that game, I either like disconnect from everything and play Persona, or I don't do that and someone pulls me away for something.
Yeah, getting pulled out of Persona is like the worst feeling. I don't know if you guys ever went through it, but yeah.
There's been a time where I just turned off my stuff so I could play Persona, and I came back like 3 hours later and I had 450 pings on Discord.
Jesus.
I was like, why do
it's all Alex O'Neill. It's like, what the fuck do you want?
Yeah, right. Just leave me alone. Yeah. I think that's mostly what my week has been. It's just been trying to spend more time playing Persona. And
these are great.
Somewhat succeeding.
This is a great games list, dude. You and Scott both.
Yeah. Terraria update came out yesterday. I found out today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Scott talked about it a little bit. We don't know what's new. We'll figure it out.
I got home from work. Apparently, they added some stuff. It's been a really long time since I played Terraria. I hopped in, and then I fell asleep until now.
Hey, you're here now.
I don't know if I'm gonna end up playing with those guys though. I might just play by myself. Because it's kind of the same thing that always happens with those kind of games and it's why I don't play modded Minecraft with those guys anymore. It's because over the years I have forgotten how to play those games or what's in those games, and they'll play it as soon as it comes out, and they'll play it exhaustively because they like work from home or are not working currently, stuff like that. So they're already like several 10, 20 hours in or whatever, and I haven't played in years since 2017.
This is how I feel when you and Scott ask me to play games, just so you know.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like whenever I join, I'm so far behind that I don't feel like I'm going to be able to learn or figure out what the hell is going on.
Totally, man.
And that's kind of the fun for me, is kind of experiencing that stuff firsthand.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm going to end up playing with those guys.
No,
just because
you're speaking my language, man. Play the way that's going to give you the most enjoyment. Absolutely.
Plus, I don't have time for that game right now.
Exactly.
So, knowing that, if I get to this game a week from now, they're gonna be done.
Yeah, very possible.
So, yeah. So that's my games. I've just been kind of hanging out, working, and getting into games when I can.
No, it's good shit. God, I can't believe this fucking Grand Cross community you've stumbled into. I love it. I love it so much. It's the best.
We're talking about opening up a 7th guild, I think today's or whatever.
You gotta have one for each sin, dude.
Another one. So eventually we'll just be the entire top 10.
Yep. Nabishin, video games, man. Do you want to take a break and then talk about your and my games, or do you want to just go into your games?
I'm good for either or.
I'm good I'm good to keep going. I don't have a lot to say, so I figure we'll roll out of the show pretty quickly. But if you guys want to take a quick break, we can. Yay, nay. All right.
Either one works for me.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break then. I'll pee, that way we can break up the show a little bit. We'll take a break. We'll talk about Nabishin's games and my games. We got a question from the listeners, and we'll end the show. So we'll take this break and be back in just a little bit.
You idiots.
Critical Role, it's so good. Hey everybody, welcome back. We were about to talk more about video games. I don't know why I said hey everybody, welcome back when I'm about to say hey everybody, welcome back again. So
Everybody, welcome back.
just pretend I didn't say it the first or second time. Hey everybody, welcome back. Let's talk about Nobishin's video games. What you got, man? What you been playing?
Oh, just the same stuff, honestly.
Has Sonic Heroes broken you yet?
Sonic
Hero, Sonic Hero. I don't know the words after that, but they're probably not as important. This was the one you were having some trouble with last week, so.
Yeah, I'm still getting through it. I'm 2-4. No, I'm 3/4. I'm 3/4 of the way done. So all I have left is this Team Chaotic and just the final episode, and then I'll be done with that game.
You'll be free, liberated. Do you think you'll ever play Sonic Heroes again after this?
No, because it's funny because I had this game and I had it in my library for a long time. One of my GameCube games I always had, but I only went through it once, and I never really understood why I only went through it once when I was younger. Because replaying it again, maybe you just remember the frustration I kind of had, but I just dealt with at the time. It was one video game I had, and the one new video game I had, and it was a Sonic game. So I'm gonna do everything in it because it's a Sonic game.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized I really kind of tortured myself back then just to get through it. And then at the end of it, I guess because since the ending is it's kind of epic, and I really like the music from it. Though I remember it fondly, but it's one of those things now that me looking back at it now and playing it again, it's oh man, no, this is just awful. I can't do this anymore. I could go back to Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 constantly, and because I understand those games a lot. I know how they play, stuff like that, and I know their shortcomings, but I also know their advantages for each one of those games. But Sonic Heroes is just it's so slippery with its controls that it just bugs me when stuff doesn't work, and it's really the thing of the whole key system to get to the special stages is the key system is you find a key in the stage, and you're just not supposed to get hit for the entire rest of the stage, which is fine if it's a 5-minute stage, but these stages are 10 to 15 minutes sometimes.
Jeez.
And they just go on forever, and with the controls being so wonky sometimes, it gets frustrating when you're trying to do a run where you're trying to make sure you just have the key all the way to the end of the stage, so you go to the special stage, which you have to go through this this whole this whole tunnel system just to try to get the emerald at that, and it's not necessarily hard, it's just it's just tedious.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tedium in that game.
Tedium is the curse of old games, I think.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, it's the curse of new games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. That's a bummer to hear. Almost because I think about going through all the Sonic games. I think the realization to have with that is some of these games just aren't. You can't really go back to them in a lot of cases. I'm very. That's why I asked about Sonic Heroes, because I wonder how you're gonna feel about Sonic 06, because I know it's been a long time since you played it last.
Oh yeah, and I know that game's bad. So that's just a curiosity thing.
Yeah, totally.
It's just curiosity because I don't remember that game at all. I played it when it came out at launch. I brought my friend Mark's 360 so I could play that game. I beat that game. I was a Super Sonic, did everything as far as that. It's something I'm just so curious to do again. I know I'm going to be raging about that. I know I'm going to be upset playing that game, but it's something that I just want to do.
Love it, dude. I love it. You have the utmost respect for me in all the ways. I want you to know that, because I do the same thing for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I said, it's always good to have perspective on things and know what actually is a bad game and why why it's bad. And we compare to something modern, where they do all these advanced stuff like that, but you can also see some of the shortcomings that come with these newer games where it's why are you just making me do these tedious things over and over again? It's nice just to get perspective sometimes, I feel.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Perspective helps you not take things for granted.
Exactly. Like I know Sonic Heroes is like the thing that's like breaking me right now, but like I mean, Shadow the Hedgehog is next, and like like, that was another game that I beat, and then like I never touched it again, and like but that one specifically I knew I didn't like as much as like because I thought I liked Sonic Heroes, apparently I don't, and now I'm about to go to the Shadow the Hedgehog, which I know was a game I could get through, and like to be all fair, like to be fair to it, like I'm playing as one character, so it's like I don't think like the whole switching around character thing and like
It'll certainly be faster, right? So like,
oh yeah, definitely, and like me just be able to control one character and like not having to like worry about like messing around with the different systems and stuff like that all at the same time, and just like I know it's gonna be funky playing as Shadow, but like because you know he has gun mechanics, he has melee mechanics, he has the regular Sonic mechanics and all the other stuff, but like it's something I could get used to because like I'm realizing I'm getting used to playing Sonic Heroes as much as I'm not liking it and I'm like hating it in a way. I'm getting very used to playing the game. So like, I just went through it with Team Dark, which is the hard mode of that game. So like now I'm doing Team Chaotic, which I don't know what level of difficulty it is, but like I guess it's like the weird
chaotic
one.
level, the weird difficulty. Yeah,
because like it's just characters you don't really know for the most part. But yeah, like that one shouldn't be as difficult to do. Knock on wood. Compared to like Team Dark, so like that should be like a breeze more or less. But yeah, sure. I'm done talking about Sonic Heroes.
Anything else you played this week? You played Mass Effect 2 this week. I saw you stream a little bit of that.
Yeah, I just went back to it a little bit. I still need to like get through it, but like for some reason I kind of just want to get through these Sonic games.
I get it, man.
Just to get it over with. Because like I'm realizing now like I got like so many like bad games to go through before the next time I get to something actually good or something I'll actually enjoy. And like, I think the next one I'll actually enjoy.
It's Colors, right?
I've never played Colors, so people say it's good, but like I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But that has the most potential. I'm trying to think like it's what Shadow, then 06, then what after 06, Black Knight. You're not playing that.
Oh no, we're not
don't fuck with those Wii games, dude. Don't even do it.
No, hold on, I'll tell you right now.
Oh man, Sonic and the Rings one, man.
Secret Rings.
I got that one, or I might not have gotten that. I think I might have borrowed that from Scott.
Yeah,
it's like
playing it.
It's
like not a good game.
It's like the Tony Hawk's Ride of Sonic games, where you're just like going downhill and you just move left to right. It's like an infinite runner console Sonic game. It's the worst game I think I've ever. It's one of the worst games I've ever played.
After Heroes is Shadow the Hedgehog. After Shadow the Hedgehog is Sonic the Hedgehog 06. After Sonic the Hedgehog 6 is Unleashed. Then it's Sonic 4
Unleashed.
Episode 1. Unleashed is gonna be torturous, man. That's gonna be so bad.
Do you
I played Unleashed, but I never beat it.
Okay.
Because like the levels are so damn long when you're in the warehouse. They're like 20 minutes long. They're so long.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I love it. I love it so much.
So after 6 is Unleashed, and then it's 4 Episode 1, then it's Colors, and it's Generations, then 4 Episode 2, then Lost World, then Mania Plus, then Forces. So like theoretically, the next good game coming up is Colors. Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to play Colors though, because I feel like you will actually probably really like that game, or at least like it somewhat. Let's not get carried away. But like it more than everything preceding it.
Yeah, it was after Unleashed where it was like because by the time Unleashed, that was the last game I was like I will blindly buy like any Sonic game.
Werehogs is the part where you got to be like, okay.
After I played that, I was like, I won't just like buy any Sonic game, like any Sonic game. So
you know what you did play this week that you should talk about is the Wonderful 101. How is this port? Because you're playing the PC version right now, correct? Did you? Because you backed it. I don't know if you get any other version with it, or if you planned on getting any other version of it.
I backed the PS4 version.
Okay.
And that wasn't ready for a release. And they wanted it to be. So like in exchange, they just gave me the Steam version for free. So I was like, cool, I'll just play that.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, you got that PC now, so.
Yeah, I'm actually in the environment to play that. So like, I can put it on my TV, playing in 4K, and like put it in the high settings and 60 frames. So it's decent.
How's it look, man?
Looks real good. Looks real
Hell yeah. How is Wonderful 101? Going back to it.
Oh, I'm just loving it, dude. Like,
yeah,
I've
been seeing your tweets and it's been so you finished it, right? And you're like on the like New Game Plus or whatever.
No, I still haven't finished it yet.
Okay.
I'm taking my time with it. I'm taking my sweet ass time with it. I'm really really enjoying it.
Cool.
I just did the lava fight with the robot. I'm just trying to be somewhat vague.
No, I know what you're talking about though. That's like more than halfway
Like,
through, or is it close?
That's probably halfway at this point.
Yeah.
There's maybe like 13, 15 operations, something like that, something along those lines. And like, that's
there's the missions. I think there are 20 missions. There might be.
Cause like there's three missions because it's like the 2 levels and then like the boss fight.
Oh yeah.
So that's how they're structured, and I think there's like 15 different ones of those.
Yes, I think you're right. It's 15 to 18. I feel like I remember 18 being a number, but I don't really know for sure. Yeah, I just the reason I thought was because I know you said like that the game gets like the most it is for you when you're in this New Game Plus and you have everything, and or I feel like I saw you say something along those lines.
Yeah. Like it's like I said, it's the easiest when you do. Like the first time you play, it's the hardest. Like I still wholly am into that.
Yeah, the platinum, like seal of approval. The first playthrough is the hardest.
Yes, 100%. But yeah, I'm loving it. I'm still loving it. Like the highs of that game is just like nothing else. It's still fun. It's still funny. All the characters are so endearing and funny and silly in their own way. Like I just love like every second of it. It's so much fun. I can't speak highly about it. It's something about. It's just something that's like a me game. It's so me that I just love it so much. But it's also like a game that like it's something I would say like oh I want you to play it, but it's like it's not something I can just give to anybody. Honestly, you have to have.
But it's one of those things where like I'm so glad that you did like allow me to play because I wouldn't have played it otherwise. You know.
Yeah, like that's a different kind of thing. It's like Andrew Taylor messaged me. He's like, oh, I want to see this game, and I said he asked me how it's played. I said he could play with the right stick, instead like drawing on it and stuff like that. But like I'm also hesitant to like have Andrew play that because I don't know, man. Like it's one of those things where it's something I love so goddamn much, but like I just don't want to give the wrong impression about it, about like how accessible it is because it's really not. It's like one of the most inaccessible games I've ever played, but it's still like so much fun to me. I love it so goddamn much. Yeah,
the thing I'd say is like, for me, like having loved Beautiful Joe, and obviously I think hindsight 2020 here of like we didn't necessarily know that those two would weirdly like retcon into part of like some maybe trilogy of themes. But like I think that game is very stylistically similar to Wonderful 101. And obviously the themes of superheroes and everyday people being superheroes is totally there. And like it feeling like a comic book and kind of looking like a comic book. Like Wonderful 101, man. What a great style, like visual style that game has. But yeah, like I would say like it is there's nothing like it, you know. If go in to play the Wonderful 101, if you want to play a game that is like, to be reductive, it's like, you know, it's a top-down action adventure game where you're going through pretty linear levels, but like there is nothing like Wonderful 101 you will ever play. Period.
Yeah, it's like Nicole. I was talking to her recently, and like she was saying like how she's kind of getting fatigued with the third-person action adventure game that's like almost every game now. So like and when she saw me play Wonderful 101, she was like, "Oh yeah, like this looks really cool and different." So like I want to check it out, and like yeah, it's like yeah, check it out. Like just have patience. That's all. That's my biggest suggestion with it.
Yeah, like I think just going into it knowing like, listen, you're gonna be getting new shit pretty much to the end of the game. So just know that even 3 levels in, when you feel like you know how that game is, you don't know how that game is. So. Yeah, I don't know. I like it, you like I don't know, intentionally or unintentionally, but like having had me playing that game because of you, like it makes me weirdly like defensive of it. You know, like I'm like I don't necessarily have the same reverence, right? But I have respect, and I do want more people to play it, especially like there are not a lot of Kamiya games that I have been able to get into. So the ones that I've been able to play through and complete, like Nier Automata aside, like I don't know, he haven't even involved with that one. So, but like I like Wonderful 101. I like Okami a lot. I like Kamiya. The right time, right place. So I want people to play this game for sure. If you want something totally different. Anything else you played this week, Namashin? Or anything else you want to say about Wonderful 101?
No, just Wonderful 101. It's amazing. Still love it. And like the only thing I played was Final Fantasy 7.
Cool. Where are you at in it?
I just found out what a mature dress looks like. Oh, that's pretty much as far as I got.
I think I don't know if I said mature dress. I don't remember which one I said.
Mature, sporty, or exotic?
I said mature. That's the blue dress, I think. Yeah, it's a good dress. It's a very good
Made the right choice. Yes.
Made the right choice. Correct. I agree. Although I think the exotic one I saw, it like makes her look like Chun-Li.
That's the sporty one.
That's the sporty one. Okay, cool.
Uh-huh.
That's fun. That actually makes it way funnier. I don't know what the exotic one looks like though. I played a couple of games. I played a little bit more Tomba this week on stream. Still going through it. Been fun streaming that. Sharing. It's been so great for me, and this is why I'm thankful, Nabashin, that you recommended it again. Just to tell you, of like people coming and be like, "What the fuck is this game? Like, what is happening?" And you jumped in the chat. I don't know if you'd ever seen Tomba before.
I have not. I've never seen a second of Tomba.
So what did you think of how it looked, man? It
looked cool.
It's a wild game. Yeah, it's totally unique. Like and it's been fun. Like just that, and that's why again I'm happy you recommended it, because a lot of people were like, oh yeah, like I've never even. This is such a cool thing that I've never heard. It's got so much personality and all that. And it's like the first Tomba is all 2D pixel art, so it still looks pretty good. The second Tomba is all 3D. Looks rough, but it's one of those like same with Super Mario 64 to me, of like kind of charming 3D. Like I think a lot of the character models and stuff in Tomba 2 have a lot of character and personality, and that comes across even though they don't look very great. Like there's like a Kainen is like this old man character that's kind of like your guidance character, and he's like kind of leaned over back, and he always carries his arms like kind of crossed in his back, and he's always kind of moving side to side, and even just through this really old polygon or polygonal model they got so much character across. So yeah, but yeah, seeing people come into chat and be like, what the fuck is Tomba? Like people keep saying Toomba. I'm like, nah, listen, come into my world. Welcome to the real PS1 era where like people were playing weird shit. And just showing it's like, hey, it's basically a 2D Metroidvania, but before Metroidvanias were a thing, before Symphony at Night, before things like that were kind of more normalized, and it was just them trying to make a cool adventure game. Yeah, it's been so fun just seeing people react to that game, and fighting evil pigs, and just seeing the art style and stuff. That's another one where you go back to it kind of like Sonic Heroes, and it's like some of the level design and platforming and stuff is just like borderline unacceptable. But like it's an old game, and things were harder back then, and there were a lot less hand-holding, a lot less forgiveness with games like that. So there's one platforming part in particular where you're going up this mountain, and you have to, it's like wind is pushing back against you the whole way, and you have to jump on these like super thin platforms 3 in a row in order to get up this last segment to get to the next event, to open up the next area. You have to do it, and if you fall, it's just instant permanent death. Like you go back to lose a life, go back to checkpoint. And you gotta just eventually get through it through some luck or bullshit. And it only took me like 3 tries this time, because I'd done it, half a dozen times before. But yeah, when people got to that, we're like, nope, I'll never play this game. Like this kind of shit is stupid. I'm like, yeah, old games. But yeah, I'm gonna hopefully finish that on stream sometime this week. I probably only need 2.5 more hours with it to finish it. So maybe we'll do another stream of like maybe cleaning up side quests and stuff because that's fun. But probably not. Just because I want to do that, maybe keep working on my stream setup and then on to a new thing to hopefully play through with folks. But the episodes are being archived on YouTube if you miss them. So I also played some Sea of Thieves this week. Talked about it a little bit last week. I know Scott, Tony, you guys weren't here last week. And I told you we were playing some Sea of Thieves. Ended up going really well. Tony, for your reference, we've been playing through the like the story quests. They're the Tall Tales, which I don't know how new those are, but they're really cool. And I had not seen them yet. So Mike, Jarrett, Scott White and I all played on Thursday, and then we got Quinn in for a little bit when Jarrett had to duck out. It was just a grand old time. Like, honestly, Sea of Thieves almost is, because I have like a huge D&D itch right now, as I'm sure Tony knows and feels as well. From listening to all this Critical Role, it's fun because Sea of Thieves kind of scratches a little bit of that role-playing like itch, just because you have to kind of talk things out and have those very similar, like, oh, maybe this means this, or like, you know, going through a quest. If you're not going through a guide and everything, we're trying to just do everything pretty pure. And a lot of the Sea of Thieves objectives, like the locations, will change depending. So it's cool. I've been really, really enjoying seeing that game and playing with it with friends a little bit more, and hopefully we'll be able to play more and more as we've been calling it Thieving Thursdays, but I don't know if how consistent a thing it will be, but we're going to try and play again as well on this Thursday. So but outside of all of those things, the only thing I've been doing otherwise is I've been replaying through the Kingdom Hearts games, and a little bit inspired by you going through the Sonic games, Nabishin, but also I'm like, I finished Kingdom Hearts 2 this week, and I played Chain of Memories. I played 1, just for your reference, Scott, because, again, you were here last week. And so, like, you know, first time I played Chain of Memories in fucking years. Since...
Not
I played Chain of Memories. We covered this last week, though. But, you know, the point being, like, going through 2 again and now jumping into Birth by Sleep, I'm like, man, I don't remember the last time I did, like, a full series playthrough. I'm trying to. It must have been like the closest, most recent thing that isn't like 3 games or less, or 1 or 2 games, would be like when I played through the Kingdom Hearts games when the remasters were coming out, and I was kind of going through all of them for the first time in HD and re-experiencing them. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, I did Alex Plays Zelda, where I played through most of the 3D Zelda games in 2014. And I've been thinking about bringing that back and replaying through the other half of them, but, you know, we'll see. But it's just been really nice. It's been super fun going through a whole series right now, and it is one of those things where I realize, like, I wouldn't be able to do or I would not be doing this if it wasn't for the quarantine and having all this extra time on my hands. But it's cool. Like, the cool thing for me about Kingdom Hearts is, like, obviously many things. I like Kingdom Hearts a lot, but I'm like dying to get to 3, because I'm realizing, and I've been texting Nabishin a little bit about this, of like playing these things in 1 and 2 and Chain of Memories and now Birth by Sleep, of like, man, like, I really like Kingdom Hearts 3. Like there's so much doubt in my head of, like, you know, I gave that game a 9. I reviewed it really well. I like it a lot, and I'll stand by that. But there is often that, like, trepidation of, like, you know, I understand it has a lot of problems, and a lot of stuff wasn't there from launch, and things that people wanted that I wanted as a Kingdom Hearts fan. But playing through all these other games has been, and thinking about, like, the DLC and Remind and all that, just, I realized, like, no, I love just a lot of things about Kingdom Hearts 3, just in general. I love how it plays. I love how it looks. I love the way that they change combat in it to make that game unique. Obviously, I like other combat in Kingdom Hearts 2 more, but, you know, I like it for what it is, and it's just been cool to feel that. And now I'm, like, so excited to get to 3. I'm debating how I want to play through Dream Drop Distance, just because I'm anxious to get to 3, but I'm excited to play through Birth by Sleep again, and I know that won't take me as long as 2 did, but going through 2, I finished Kingdom Hearts 2 this week. I finished it last night. Final mix. 100%ed it. Took me 72 hours this time, which is the longest it's ever taken me, but I fucking took my time. I talked about it a little bit last week of like trying to see things I've never seen before or do things differently or just like, see more of these games that I might have missed and by taking my time through them more slowly and trying to really talk to like I'm talking to all the characters between scenes now, like how everyone's like walking around and you can just sit and talk to them, and it's so funny, like all this dialogue that I never saw in those games ever because I never talked to any of the characters before because I was like going cutscene to cutscene, I knew where to go. Of like in the Pirates of the Caribbean world, like all the plot points that they skip over in visual, like there, all the characters kind of say between those scenes when you talk to them. I was like, oh, like I told Barbosa that I was a Turner because I didn't want him to know I was the daughter of the governor of this island, and it's like, oh yeah, I forgot that was a plot point in that movie that they totally brushed over in this game. It's like, oh, that's like, it's cool that's there at the very least, like I just appreciating stuff like that, or like trying new combos with different keyblades and like doing more keyblade. When I played through Kingdom Hearts 2 this time on Proud, I didn't want to play on Critical or anything, but I went to whatever the furthest world was at the time, so I would essentially be doing the hardest thing I could be doing at any time to make it harder for myself. It died way more, and it was way tougher, like fighting Cerberus at way under level and stuff like that, like getting to those, fighting Scar way under leveled when, like, if you skip a couple of those worlds to go there. And it was cool. It was like just a different way to play the game, and I did like Atlantica as I was playing through it, and I did 100 Acre Wood as I was playing through it, instead of kind of like leaving those for the end and just doing them all back to back to back. Different things that I had done to just change it up, and it just made me love that game so much more. I mean, as much more as I can love Kingdom Hearts 2.
How was it seeing Cloud and Sephiroth in that game?
Super weird. And it's also weird because it's sort of, that game's like right, I think it was either right before or right after. I think it was right after Advent Children, right? So obviously those characters have their kind of Advent Children look. But like they use, and I don't know how much I've talked about this on the show, but and maybe we've never talked about it in Option or Scott, but like they swap in different character models for close-up scenes, right? And the other character models will swap in to have like the fully animated faces and fingers.
Always been a thing for that game.
Yeah, always been a thing until 3 when we finally got away from that. Again, it took 2 constant generations to do that. But like, it's a thing I always notice, and I always kind of make a mental note of it. And I think it's cool because it's just like basically them making this game look as good as they can for the budget and the hardware that they have. So I think that shit's cool. But like Cloud always has the high res character model, almost always, even in like scenes where he's not super close. And I was like, man, they just wanted Cloud to look really good in this game. And Sephiroth doesn't have a high res model also, which is weird. So his like he never has an animated face or anything. He just kind of has like the stock like flapping mouth and all that, which is weird, And he didn't in the first one, but he like barely talked. He didn't really talk in the first one, so it's cool. It's it's fun though, because like I think they still, all the Kingdom Hearts interpretations of those characters are different. Like Leon is very different than who Squall is, but similar. So it's cool to see like just they kind of take the themes of those characters and make them more embodied. So seeing them right after Final Fantasy VII Remake has me excited to play that again. So like the point of this is I'm going to play through all these, and then I'm going to play through Final Fantasy VII Remake again. And just I want to compare the combat systems, and I just want to play that game again after maybe seeing some more Square Enix bullshit. But yeah, it's been super fun, and I texted you, Namishan. I went through, did all the data battles, did all the Lingering Will battle, did all the mushrooms. Way easier. All of it was so much easier this time, and I was like, okay, I think I just have played too much of this game. Like that, like it wasn't, and it was a thing where I was like, I want to make this easier. I've not gone out of my way to grind and make this a little bit easier for myself. So I grinded out more defense plus and more attack plus and more AP plus and things that would make it, and better equipment items, things that would have make it easier for myself that I hadn't done before. Super helped. But it was still just like, man, I know all these fights. I could fight Roxas with my fucking eyes closed now. And it's like, that's, yeah. But I realized something, because I've thought about doing, it might be fun to do a no level critical mode run just for the challenge of it, to say I'd done it. But then I realized the Marluxia fight is based on how many levels you have. So if you've not leveled at all and you fight Marluxia, you can't get hit by him once. And I was like, cool, I'll never fucking do that. Never mind. I might, but I just wouldn't do that fight, I think. But yeah, I beat the Lingering Will in 2 attempts instead of 70, you know, like, I have that fight almost memorized, or I feel like I could react to almost anything in that fight. But it was like, when I beat him, it was a really intense, like, it was down to the wire, which is exactly how that fight should be. And I was like, man, these special boss fights are there's just nothing like them anywhere else. So yeah, it was just, Game Rush 2 is great. And I loved playing through it again. I started Birth by Sleep up again. I don't know, like, I've never done the full grind on Birth by Sleep. I don't necessarily plan on doing it now. I don't want to get 3 characters to level 99. That sounds fucking miserable. But I'm, you know, grinding and having fun, and like, I'm like level 22. And I'm like not even at Radiant Garden in Birth by Sleep, which is like, I think recommended level 15 or something. So I was like, I'm just grinding and trying to make it a little bit easier and having fun with my playthrough again. So, and that's another thing with Birth by Sleep. I'm going to the hardest world available to you and seeing if I can make it a little bit harder. But yeah, that's really all I've been playing. Just going through Kingdom Hearts again. Excited to have everything, and it has been fun to just know where things go and know how these characters are evolving and see the moments where they change and all that. So that's Kingdom Hearts for you. That's it for video games. You guys want to take a peek at the mail sack?
Yes, I would like to do that.
It's been a minute, but we got a mail sack. Remember, you can be a part of the show by tweeting your questions at IrrationalPod with the hashtag IPQ. You can also leave us a voicemail, 404-590-1337. Keep in mind, standard long-distance fees do apply. Or you can send us an email, mailsack@irrationalpassion.com. We got a question from Matt, a.k.a. Stormageddon, which is at DJ __ Stormageddon on Twitter. 2 questions in a row. Very much appreciate it, Matt. Thanks for listening. He says, what's the best Mario RPG ever made? Which I thought was a very good question with the new Paper Mario game announced. From Super Mario RPG, the Mario and Luigi games, or Paper Mario games?
Mario RPG. But
yeah,
I'm very much not
So,
informed.
so here's the thing. When you have to take all of the games together, Nabishin is just correct. Because it's... Yes, I would argue Thousand Year Door might be the #1 games if we're just saying, hey, single game.
Yeah.
But you have, with that series, you have to take all the bad Paper Mario games with it.
Yeah, it's true.
That much better than Legend of the Seven Stars.
Yeah, 7 Stars is just like, it's pure is the thing. The original Super Mario RPG you can still play today and you'll like get it. You'll get what Mario RPG games are like. You'll get what it's all about. You'll understand why they're funny, why the writing is so good, why the characters are just so beloved. You'll know why Geno is like always brought up for the Smash. Like, you'll get it. So I think like if you could only play one, I would probably still tell you to play Thousand Year Door just because that's my favorite and that's the one that I'm very invested in. But you could play Mario RPG, and that's another one where like no other games look like that or kind of have the same sound or style. So that's the one. That's a safe recommendation. Now, if you had to pull one from each franchise, Scott, what would you do? What would you pull? Well, I guess like what Mario and Luigi game would you do?
That's a tough one because I've only really played
the first one.
I think it's 2.
Is
It's
it
the first one, and then Bowser's Inside Story.
so? Superstar Saga is the first one, and then 2 is the time travel one with Baby Mario and Baby Luigi.
No
And
one
then
ever talks about that one. Is that one? Okay?
it's okay. It's like too long is the thing.
It's tough because like I think Bowser's Inside Story is the best one,
hmm
but it's also one of those ones where it's you get lost along the way if you haven't played the other two.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 2.
Hmm.
True. It's the second Mario and Luigi game is just like fine. You know, it doesn't have as much like fun with it like Inside Story does, and it wasn't as novel as it was the first time around when Superstar Saga was, because like essentially in that game, the whole shtick with Superstar Saga being a GBA game is A is Mario, B is Luigi, and like everything applies to that across the world, the combat, all that. In Superstar Saga, it's like A is Mario, B is Luigi, and then X is Baby Mario, and Y is Baby Luigi. So it's essentially just taking that concept and multiplying it by 2, and like all that is had. So you'll have segments where you're just playing as Baby Mario, Baby Luigi. You'll have segments where you're just playing as Mario, Luigi. You'll have segments where you play as all 4. And it's cool, it's novel, but it's not the best. Yeah, I would say Bowser's Inside Story, I would still recommend. You're right, though, Scott. If you've not played Superstar Saga, it's a little confusing. Like there's a lot of in-style shit in the Mario Luigi games, like Coca-Cola Cola and like all the bean dudes and all this like super specific Mario lore that is only in the Mario and Luigi games. That is kind of confusing also. So
Here's the thing: they expect you to know it.
yeah, they don't ever explain it.
They're not just there. It's partially relevant.
Yeah.
It's referenced, and then you got to do that thing that you did before.
Yeah, you're like, I'd never done this before. Yeah,
like, I don't remember what I did before.
yeah, totally. But yeah, then Thousand Year Door is amazing. I would still tell people to play Super Paper Mario though, because I think that game's cool. It's rough, but it's cool.
Hey man, 1,000 Year Door is a great game.
Thousand Year Door is a 10 out of 10. Fight me.
I don't know if I'd say 10 out of 10, but it's a good game.
I would say 10 out of 10. I would wholeheartly recommend it. But there's a lot of ways to play Mario RPG still. Like it's on the SNES Classic if you have that laying around. But yeah, give it a shot. It's a very, very good video game. Nabashi, have you ever wanted to play any of the other Mario RPG games, or is it just that first one and you're one and done, you're out?
I mean, I always want to give Thousand Year Door a shot.
Okay.
I have the means to now. Doesn't matter, just me doing it. That's
Yeah. Okay. Just put it on the radar. Adding it to the list, I should say. Thanks, Matt, for the question. Listen, if you're out there just wondering how and what Mario RPG to play, just play them all. Just have a good time. It was funny.
I wonder if Superstar Saga is on the Switch.
Some GBA games are on Wii U, so it might be on that. Not that helps you, Scott, but
Yeah, it doesn't.
they should put handheld games on Switch, all of them, and all Nintendo games. They should just put on Switch, just to have the whole backlog available to you.
the Mario Wii U.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Is it on Wii U?
Superstar Saga is on Wii U, definitely.
Mm.
Bowser Inside Story might be on Wii U as well.
I think it
wrong
might
on
be.
that.
I think it might be as well. Yeah. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is, because there are DS games on that as well. Weird. That's so weird. I think I had one other thing to say, but it's fine. We'll go to the outro here. Thanks everybody so much for hanging out with us. If you would like to be a part of the show, like I said, questions tweeted at IrrationalPod is going to be the best way. But you can follow Nabashin and myself on Twitter. I am at AlFighter27. Nabashin's at NABESHIN186, respectively. We'll talk to you there. Check out our video stuff on Twitch and YouTube, like the video version of this podcast. Just look for Irrational Passions. You can follow general Irrational Passions needs on Twitter at IrrationalPod. And wherever you listen to this podcast, we would love it if you rate and review us there. I would appreciate it. I go and read the reviews, and I appreciate all of them. And all of you. And then check everything else out on irrationalpassions.com. We've reached the end of the show, y'all. It's time for bets. I don't know how last week's bet is going to go, but I think we're going to need you three to chime in on it, though, because I'll explain it in a little bit. This week's bet. We'll start there. We got to start somewhere. I don't know if y'all know this. Man-Eater comes out on Friday of next week. Do you know about...
That's a shark game, right?
This is the shark game. Man-Eater. It's got a good logo. I looked up the logo for Man-Eater. In the top 5, just 5 reviews for Man-Eater. How many references to Jaws will we see? And this, I'm just talking about written references. I chose quotes count. That's definitely a reference.
But are any of us aware?
I am a huge Jaws fan, so yes, I will pick the quotes out.
Are you seriously?
Yeah, I am seriously a huge Jaws fan. I like the first 4 Jaws movies. Jaws 2 sucks. Jaws 3 sucks. Jaws 4 is okay. First Jaws is a classic. I watched them over and over again as a kid. No idea why. Maybe this is why I'm afraid of getting eaten whole alive. Just putting it out there. Don't let your fucking kids watch Sci-Fi Channel so we get fucked up by Jaws movies, you guys. I'm totally serious. This is a real thing. I'm surprised it's
Jaws
never
3D though.
I've never seen Jaws 3D. I wanted to though,
Okay.
but no, that was. I figured that there was a window where I was like way into it, but then I got way scared. Like childhood trauma windows. Anyway, and
That's making shit. Like honestly, like you just come out of nowhere. It's like, oh, I've been a Jaws fan like forever.
yeah,
like,
true. I never talk about it. Is the thing.
ever.
Yeah, I've never talked about my Jaws fandom. I've seen the first 2 Jaws movies like 8 times each. And I don't know why. We're going to need a bigger boat for this podcast, if you know what I mean. So, keep in mind, this is 5 reviews. It is not a lot of reviews. I expect there to be a lot of Jaws references, or at least mentions or anything. I'll kick it off. I think there will be 9 references.
How many reviews are we talking?
5. Top 5 reviews.
I would say about 7.
I had 13, but I decided that was probably too much. Scott?
I'm gonna go with 4.
Almost 1 per review, except for 1. I like that you have faith in one person out there. Tony?
0.
0. Man. I almost hope you're right, Tony. Okay. Last week's bet.
Well, you see, it's not Jaws ain't a game, and I'm pretty sure this game isn't about Jaws.
It's not about Jaws. It's about a shark that eats people. But I'm just expecting a lot of Jaws references. There was a Jaws game, though. That one was fun. Last week's bet. And again, I'm going to need Scott.
Maybe that's our point of contact.
What?
They're comparing this game to that Jaws game.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Scott.
And that's how they're going to get you.
That's how they're going to fucking get you. That's how they're going to get you specifically. But last week's bet. Nobishin had to duck out early last week, which means only Jarrett and I bet on this bet, and Jarrett and I are on the same team, so we kind of stack the odds here. So I need you guys to chime in with your bets here. So I wrote this last week, so just keep in mind the thing at the end is in reference to last week. Next week, Star Wars Episode 1 releases. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer releases on Nintendo Switch. Came out. I don't know if any of y'all played it. Check it out. Pod racing game. When I search YouTube this time next week for Star Wars Pod Racer Speedrun, listing by most recent, what will be the speedrun time of the 5th video from the top? Again, this is my most complicated bet. I'm sorry for the wording. For point of reference, free point of reference for all of you, I did this right before the podcast last week, and I found one. The speed run time was 1 hour, 31 minutes, and 6 seconds. Not the fastest speed run, but not the slowest.
Right. 48 minutes.
48 minutes. I love it. Thank you, Scott. Nobishin?
Hour 20.
Tony?
I don't fucking know. Let's say 1 hour even.
1 hour even. So for your guys' reference, I had said 67 minutes, or 1 hour, 7 minutes, 39 seconds. And Jarrett said 1 hour, 50 minutes. So let's see. I'm so excited to see if people like get way into speed running the pod racer game. Once it comes to Switch, though. It was also like just a general thing to throw out there. There were a lot more results than I thought there would be. And I believe the one that I had pulled up, the 1 hour 31 minutes, was like posted 2 hours before the podcast. Upload date. No, don't do relevance. Sort by. All right, fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 59 minutes and 48 seconds. That's fucking almost dead on the money, Tony. I want
Hell yeah!
So that's twice in a week that you've won now, Tony. You were not here last week, but you won the bet last time. This is the Assassin's Creed Valhalla. How long will the guy be in the air? You said 1 second or 3 seconds, and it was 1 second.
Always go for the low end on these.
It's true. Apparently, you've got it figured out. Which brings our team totals. I have 3 points. Nabishin has 5 points. Scott has 1 point. Tony, you now have 5 points. You've taken the lead with Nabishin. Sweats on, yeah. Nabishin. Any final word, Tony, you want to throw out there? You want to reiterate that you disagreed with, or you just want to say something?
I like you guys.
I like you too, man. This is a good show. I miss you guys last week.
Also, I have another one.
Yeah.
Good job, Alex, not dating your sister. Nabishin, well, we'll get there.
All right. Of course he would use the final word for this, Nabishin. We can't give Tony this much power ever again. That's the show. Thanks everybody for hanging out, for chatting, for listening. Anybody in the live chat, we love you very, very much. Nicole did point out that Jaws 3D is Jaws 3. I might not have seen Jaws 3 then. I've definitely seen Jaws 4. But I might not have seen Jaws 3 then. That might have been why I didn't want to see it. It's 3D. It's too scary. Too spooky. We will be back next week as always with more podcasting, more video games to talk about. But we appreciate anyone that hangs out listening. Hopefully everyone's doing okay out there. Thank you to Danny Wiesner for our opening music of Two Player Co-op and our closing music of The World Is Saved, respectively. Go check that dude out. He is the best. Him and his wife make very, very lovely music. I don't know, be good to each other. Thanks, Nabishin. Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Tony, for joining me as always. I love you all. Big hugs all the way around. I've been Alex O'Neill. Play your games. Stay rational. We will talk to you all next week.
Titles?
They're there. I posted the link in the Discord also, Tony, if you want to grab it.
I already got it open.
Cool.
We got Tony's League of Legends Greg Miller. Wait, what about your Steam controller?
Wait.
The Goddess of Love? Did you use the third eye? I am a huge Jaws fan.
I love that I blindsided you with this, Nabishin. Scott, Tony, did you guys expect this either? I was a kid, you know. Kids are into things. I was like...
So, I feel like you brought it up at one point,
and
I was like, yeah, this movie sucked, and then you never went any further with it.
Oh, that sounds totally like us. So, like, hang out with house. Oh, have you seen the Jaws movies? Oh yeah, they suck. Okay, you know, like just move on. Like, don't say anything. Yeah, you're right.
Late entry, Aphrodite Wall Scroll.
Aphrodite Wall Scroll is an acceptable late entry, I think, if you'll allow it, Nabishin. The Goddess of Love.
The Goddess of Love.
I don't know why, but it was just so it was such a genuine response. It was so funny. What do you guys like? What do you like, Nabishin?
You get that reference, right? It's from the Hercules cartoon show.
Oh, shit.
Not the movie, but the cartoon show.
No, I do know what you're talking about.
Anytime Aphrodite appears, be like Aphrodite, Aphrodite, Aphrodite.
Yes.
The goddess of love.
It's been so long since I watched that. Of those cartoons, the Little Mermaid
never
one was
watched that.
my favorite. It was cool. It was like Herc. It's like Herc's like teen something. It had a weird name to that cartoon, right?
No, it was just
It
Hercules.
was just Hercules. I always thought that it was like the Teen Adventures of Hercules or something.
It was, but like they just called it Hercules.
Interesting. Yeah.
Just like Aladdin is called Aladdin.
Yeah, you're right. And Little Mermaid's just Little Mermaid. So.
Mm.
Yeah, I just like the Little Mermaid one because, of course. That's a good reference. Now that I know it's a reference, that's very good. It's also just great on its own. Just on its own. The Goddess of Love. Tony, what do you like? We'll come back to you now.
I like all of them except for the Jaws one because I don't like sharks.
Listen, man, I'm not a huge shark fan either, so I get it.
Yeah.
I just like Jaws. Scott, what do you like?
Wait, what about your Steam controller?
That's a very good one. All right, Namshin, it's back to you.
You gotta play Spelunky on your Steam controller, dude.
Yeah, you gotta play Spelunky on this thing. Use these analog sticks. I don't even know what they are. Analog pads. I
have no idea.
I like.
I have no
Goddess
idea
of
how you
Love.
can play with that.
Yeah, I don't know. No, you play Civ. You move it like a mouse cursor, I guess.
But the like touch, like it is like a bunch of a big touchpad.
I don't know, man. I looked at it and I don't even know. I it's in my closet
It's
right
a portal to a different dimension, and inside that different dimension, it's just an analog stick.
You reach through, and there's just an analog stick deeply uncomfortably far. I like the Goddess of Love. I also like. Wait, what about your Steam controller?
Either one, I gotta say it, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, let's do Steam controller just because that one's fun. Who wants to say? I guess Namshin, you have to say the title. Tony, you want to say the episode number? It's 467.
Which one am I saying? The title or the number?
The number.
You're listening to the Irrational Passions podcast, episode 467.
Wait, what about your Steam controller?
You don't want it.
Thanks everybody for watching. Have a good night.